Hello and welcome to Legal Basics with Sarah Global. Today we discuss a form of business organization that is quite new, little known, and little understood. And this is the limited liability partnership. Remember, in our last broadcast, we dealt with partnership and we explained that in a regular partnership, the partners do not have any limited liability, meaning that their liability is unlimited. The actions of a partner will tie the other partners. However, in a limited liability partnership, it combines the benefits of a partnership and the benefits of a limited liability company. However, it is not a company. So let's start with the first feature of a limited liability partnership. Like a regular partnership, the actions of the partners will tie the specific partner that has gotten into that liability. For example, if let's say we have two architects and they run a business called X and Y Architects, and this business is a limited liability partners, and one of the architects builds a house and the house sinks during the rainy season, and they're taken to court, and the court finds him liable. Now, the action of that partner will not tie the other partner. So, in a limited liability partnership, a person does not tie the others. However, in a regular partnership, then the other partners would have to be liable. Secondly, in a limited liability partnership, the partners, just like a regular partnership, are involved in the day-to-day running of the business. Remember that in a company, shareholders and directors have different legal responsibilities. Shareholders own the company, directors run the company. But in a limited liability partnership, the partners are the owners and also they take part in the day-to-day running of the partnership. For this reason, it is important that people who want to get into a partnership, especially if it regards a professional service, get into a limited liability partnership as opposed to a regular partnership. Because if a doctor gets into a case of medical negligence, for instance, then he ties himself, he does not tie the other doctor in that partnership. But in a regular partnership, he will tie all the others. Now, our limited liability partnership has some of the benefits of a company because it has corporate status. What does corporate status mean? It means that the business has a separate legal entity from its owners. So, a limited liability partnership will be sued. It can sue on its own. It can own property. Now, this is a very beneficial feature to the limited liability partnership because it ensures that if the business gets into liabilities that overwhelm it, now it cannot impact personally on the partners. Again, it allows a limited liability partnership to get into contracts on its own. For instance, if you're in a regular partnership and you want to get some floor space, X and Y partners will have to sign the tenancy agreement of that office, as in their legal capacity as X and Y. However, in an LLP or a limited liability partnership, because the business entity is a separate legal entity, then the LLP is the one that is going to contract and sign the lease agreement for office space. Now, for people that are getting into partnerships that regard professional services, a limited liability partnership is more suited than a regular partnership because, again, a corporate status ensures that the business entity outlives the partner. If one partner leaves, the business entity can still continue just like a company. If one partner dies, the business entity can still stand. However, for a limited liability partnership, you must have a minimum of two partners. Remember, for a company situation, especially in Kenya, you can have one shareholder. But now, for a limited liability partnership, the minimum number of partners is two. So you can have a bigger number. Some jurisdictions limit the number of partners that you can have in the limited liability partnership. But the number can never go below two, which means if there's only two people and one dies, if one is not replaced, then the business entity cannot stand. I hope that this broadcast has been useful to you. Please write to us with your queries at cyrilloglobal@gmail.com. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you. Sanitize. Have a good night.